All right, I'm Pastor Haynes, and most of you know me by now from Slidell, Louisiana. And but I'd like to introduce you to one of our very extraordinary friends here in Austin, Texas. The fancy word, I'll let him explain to you what he does, but to the rest of us, he's an eye doctor. And so he's going to tell us about some of his recent activities in his field, in the mission field, and what he does and how he touches and changes people's lives around the world. So let me introduce you right now to Richard.
Thank you. The fancy word is ophthalmologist.
Ophthalmologist.
And so I was a medical doctor, but also trained in diseases and surgery of the eye, and was fortunate to start my practice in Lufkin back in 1978. Practiced there for many years, and got to the point where my practice was mature, my children were mature, and I wanted to start looking elsewhere. And I was certainly interested in the missionary work, and I was able to connect with the Benevolent Mission International group in Houston, the group that was started about 30 years ago by the Methodist Church. And they established eye surgery clinics around the world, but eventually through need and politics, they kind of settled in different parts of the world, with one major clinic in the northern part of Belize. And we would have a facility there and send teams there about 4 times a year. And I was very fortunate to start joining those teams. I would be one of the surgeons, typically would have 2 or 3 surgeons, but we'd have a team of 20 people. And the people would include optometrists, other doctors, nurses for surgery, some technical people to assist just to do things, assist in getting patients in and out, and become opticians. And then after several trips, Inga was able to join me and got actively involved as well. But for us, we'd take a 1-week trip after weeks and months of planning, getting supplies together. We'd arrive and stay in our clinic in Belize. We would arrive in our clinic, set up, and over the course of 6 days, we would perform about 80 to 100 eye operations. The clinic side would see roughly 800 people for eye exams of all ages, and we would provide free around 700 to 800 pairs of glasses. And to put it in perspective, in a country like Belize, when we arrive, we double the number of ophthalmologists in the entire country. Because the country of 400,000 has about 3 ophthalmologists. Three. In the entire country, and they're all located in the main city.
Yes.
So after that, I was able to continue the mission trips to Belize, usually once or twice a year. We also expanded on to Guatemala, where I was able to have a mentor there, Dr. Bert Bowden with Eye for God Ministries, and also we had another one in the clinic in Fiji, where we've been there about 6 times. We look forward now to starting again. Our last mission was before COVID, and we were finally able to start a new mission in Guatemala this next week.
Now, Rich, you told me a story of one extraordinary event that took place in one of the surgeries you performed. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that's what makes it worthwhile. Every event, every trip there's always an amazing, almost miracles.
Yes.
And particularly in Fiji, we had one lady who came in, and she was brought in by wheelchair by her daughters, totally blind, and we did surgery, and the day after surgery, take off the dressing, and she looks up, she looks at the person. Who is this person? It's her daughter. She did not know who she was because she had not seen her in 10 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. It is a miracle.
That's a miracle.
It is.
And she only knew her other voice when she started talking, and she knew who she was.
Wow. My Lord.
So every trip, I would say, has something very similar.
Yes. Now next week you're planning another trip.
We were very excited. It's going to be quite a challenge because we're going to a new mission location. We've been invited to use the facilities at a military hospital in Guatemala, but it's never done eye surgery. So we're having to bring everything we need and work with the team with the Eye for God Ministries, Dr. Bert Bowden and his team, to try to start a new clinic for surgery there.
All right. Wonderful. Great story. We appreciate that so much. We're gonna have to take a little break right here, Jerry. I gotta breathe a little bit. It's so emotional.